We're having a competition to see who can create the best dehydrated backpacking recipe.
I'm first. Now get out of here so I can get to work. Most of this dehydrated food has been in our cabinet for a year.
We're prepping for our next adventure in just a few weeks, and we want some new meals to eat on the trail.
Hey Mom, Tim and I are doing a recipe competition. We're trying to use up like the ingredients in our cabinet. Do you think pumpkin, macaroni and cheese, and chili are a good combination?
I think so.
I will mix it up and we'll see how it tastes. Love you.
Bye.
I hope it's not too weird, but pumpkin, chili, mac and cheese. My recipe starts with a batch of imitation cheese sauce from our mac and cheese recipe. It also has our dehydrated chili from our recipe book, plus dehydrated pumpkin and noodle shells. Everything goes in a Ziploc bag, and this will rehydrate by just boiling it for 2 minutes. The pumpkin's a little sweet. I hope it's okay. In a couple of weeks, we'll have a cook-off during our next adventure.
For our upcoming adventure, walking from the lowest to the highest point in the contiguous U.S., we're competing to see who can come up with a tastier recipe. Here we go.
I won our last 2 recipe contests, and I'm doing everything I can to defend my title, starting with research for inspiration.
Jamaican rice and peas.
This competition's challenge is that we're not doing any new dehydrating at all. Everything has to come from our reserve.
We've got rice, beans, kale, cabbage, onions, garlic, jalapeno, coconut milk powder, veggie bouillon, and allspice.
I put pen to paper to make the recipe and then got to work assembling the meal. Along with rice, beans, and greens,
We're all out of kale.
this recipe's full of yummy spices for flavor. I'm most excited for the coconut milk, which isn't something we usually eat in rice and beans. I can't wait to see if I beat her when we go head to head on the trail.
We each created a new dehydrated recipe, and we're competing to see whose tastes best as we hike the lowest to highest route.
This is my pumpkin chili mac and cheese.
This is my Jamaican rice and peas.
Both of our recipes follow the same simple cooking method on the trail.
Nothing beats an easy home-cooked meal while backpacking because food is always on our minds when we're out here.
I've won 2 of our 3 recipe competitions, so Renee's getting competitive. She even called her mom for help.
These friendly competitions motivate us to come up with new recipes, which keeps our backcountry menu full of variety.
All right, time for the test.
Renee's recipe is the definition of comfort food.
Dang, girl.
The pumpkin makes the cheese sauce even creamier than expected.
It doesn't look the best, but it tastes good.
That's really good.
Next up is Tim's Jamaican rice and peas, which gets a rich sweetness from lots of coconut milk powder.
Creamy, spiced rice and beans. Yum.
It's got a kick because I put in jalapeno.
Both recipes easily make the cut to take on future trips, but only one can be the winner.
3, 2, 1, Renee.
We love a tasty home-cooked meal at the end of the day on our big adventures, and the off-season is a perfect time to come up with new recipes. Is it possible to dehydrate a sandwich? I decided to go all out and try something a bit risky. I started by making some sloppy lentils, then I threw them in the dehydrator along with corn, zucchini, and buns. I haven't tried dehydrating bread before. Tim does most of the cooking at home and on the trail, so I'm a bit nervous. Everybody was curious about the smells. After about 4 hours, the buns were done. The lentils and veggies took about 8. Next, I assembled 1 serving. I threw all of the ingredients into a bag. It won't be a true sandwich, it will be more of a one-pot meal. I'm curious and excited to see how it turns out. Tim needs to make his recipe, then we'll both rehydrate and decide on the winner. We're in the midst of a competition to see who can create the best dehydrated backpacking recipe.
Renee already made hers, now it's my turn.
We dehydrate meals to make them lightweight and long-lasting on our outdoor adventures. We do almost everything together, but we decided to surprise each other and see what we could each come up with on our own. This is how I made barbecue black beans and rice.
That's gonna be good.
Usually we dehydrate ingredients separately, but it also works to cook everything together and dehydrate it all at once. Oil makes dehydrated food spoil quicker, so even though it's kind of weird, I sauteed everything in water. Next, I added the beans and then a whole bunch of barbecue sauce. After taste testing, I knew there was one thing it needed more of.
Almost a whole bottle now.
This took about 12 hours at 135 degrees Fahrenheit.
Smells good, what is it?
The finished product is kind of ugly, but I'm sure it'll taste great. I almost forgot, I have to cook and dehydrate rice too. 1 serving is 3/4 cups of beans and 3/4 cups of rice in a Ziploc bag. I'm super curious what Renee made. Next we'll rehydrate head to head to declare a winner.
I dehydrated barbecue black beans and rice.
I dehydrated a sloppy lentil sandwich.
Now we're gonna go head to head and find out who's the better chef.
We each created a new recipe. Hopefully they'll be good enough to bring on our next big adventure.
To rehydrate barbecue black beans and rice, I just add water and bring to a boil for about a minute, then remove from heat and wait about 10 more.
For my sloppy lentils, the process is the same, but I stirred in the dehydrated bun right before eating. Let's hope it works.
I thought dehydrating a bun was crazy, but it actually worked well. Now it's the moment of truth. Sloppy lentils have an awesome texture with just a hint of spice.
That's good.
Barbecue black beans and rice are sweet and smoky.
Tastes like barbecue sauce.
3, 2, 1, Renee.
I think they'll both be on the menu for our next big adventure.
In the end, we decided if we have to declare a winner, it's Renee based on originality. Details for both recipes are posted on our Instagram and website.
We're having a cook-off.
Let's see who can invent a better dehydrated pumpkin recipe.
We're keeping them secret from each other until the taste test, and I'm up first, so get out of my kitchen. We've spent hundreds of nights eating dehydrated food, so we're using this competition to add some recipes to our lineup. My plan is to make a sweet peanut squash stew. I'm going with butternut squash as my main ingredient. Next come Brussels sprouts. Both of these go in the oven until they're soft. Then I laid everything on dehydrator trays and spread it into a flat, even lay. The vegetables took about 12 hours to dehydrate at 135 degrees Fahrenheit. They're done when they're no longer soft, but instead hard and crispy. Now I gotta crush some peanuts. Renee doesn't stand a chance. I'm also using dehydrated rice and tomato sauce, which we had on hand. The total recipe is butternut squash, Brussels sprouts, rice, onions, peanut butter powder, coriander, ginger, salt, and cayenne pepper, and tomato sauce. Everything goes in a Ziploc bag with the peanuts and peanut butter powder in their own little baggie. Hiding these where Renee can't reach. Next up, Renee will make hers, and we'll do the taste test on Halloween.
Now it's my turn. I'm going for a pumpkin spice breakfast. Featuring a pumpkin spice latte and a pumpkin spice chia pudding. Don't tell Tim, but I'm actually using canned pumpkin. The canned pumpkin was much easier than cooking an actual pumpkin. I mixed it with oat milk, maple syrup, and pumpkin pie spice. It tastes like pumpkin pie. I spread it into a thin, even layer on the dehydrator trays and then dehydrated it until it was completely dry and crispy. Looks like I spilled some pumpkin on the floor. On trail, I plan to cold soak the chia pudding overnight, so I sure hope the pumpkin rehydrates well without heat. Okay, seems like enough. For the pumpkin spice latte, I mixed together instant coffee, powdered oat milk, and more of the crumbled up pumpkin. Wish me luck for our face-off on Halloween. It's time to crown the winner of our dehydrated pumpkin contest.
We each secretly dehydrated a recipe. Now we're out on the trail to rehydrate and do a taste test.
All right, let's stop. I gotta cold soak my recipe.
I wasn't expecting a cold soak.
My pumpkin spice chia pudding requires no heat. We just soak it in water for about an hour while walking.
Apparently, this is only half of Renee's recipe. I'm getting nervous about my odds in this competition.
Tim's up first and he revealed his sweet pumpkin peanut stew.
To rehydrate, I added some water and brought it to a boil for about 1 minute. Then I covered and let sit for 10.
A dehydrated pumpkin spice latte.
Coffee? I don't stand a chance.
I boiled the dehydrated spiced pumpkin and then added the instant coffee.
Now that everything's ready, it's time for the taste test.
Tim's stew is looking amazing. It's super rich and flavorful.
Renee's pudding rehydrated perfectly with an amazing texture. Renee knows that coffee is the path straight to my heart.
Yummy.
Who do you think wins?
Tim.
Think mine has a little more taste, but
That's really tasty.
This is what dehydrated pumpkin pie looks like.
Thanksgiving's right around the corner, so we're competing to see who can dehydrate a better pie.
After a long day in the backcountry, nothing beats a homemade dinner followed by dessert. So we went to our farmer's market to start experimenting.
Renee's always loved pumpkin season, so of course she took over this recipe.
I started with a butternut squash and set aside the seeds, which I'll use later in the crust. Then I roasted the squash in the oven and blended it to make it smooth. My filling includes roasted squash, oat milk, maple syrup, cinnamon, ginger, nutmeg, and cloves.
Really good.
I spread the filling in a thin, even layer and dehydrated it overnight.
This looks great, but can it compete with my apple pie recipe? We'll rehydrate and taste test both on Thanksgiving.
My dehydrated apple pie.
This apple pie will last for a year and rehydrate in minutes.
Our hard work cooking and dehydrating the pie filling today will pay off later after a long, hard day in the outdoors. All we'll have to do to prepare it is add water.
Tim's apple pie is looking good. Yummy. But let's see if it can beat the pumpkin pie I made last week.
Now that both pie fillings are dehydrated, we'll have to be creative to develop backcountry crusts.
I dehydrated a pumpkin pie.
I dehydrated an apple pie.
Let's rehydrate both and see whose is better.
We're in Germany, away from our families, so we're celebrating Thanksgiving together by having a pie contest.
A few weeks ago, we dehydrated pie fillings, but we still needed crusts.
We opted for homemade granola made with oats, nuts, and maple syrup.
I also threw in some roasted pumpkin seeds for the pumpkin pie. To rehydrate, I boiled equal parts water and filling for about 2 minutes. Look at that. And then let sit for 10.
For my apple pie, I used the exact same rehydrating method, but half as much water.
We stirred both vigorously to make sure they turned back into thick pie fillings.
All right, let's see how it looks. Ooh.
It looks good.
We put the crust on top.
These are upside down pies.
Here we go. It's really good.
They're both amazing, but Tim's apple pie won.
One trail breakfast to rule them all.
I don't know about that.
Welcome to our 2025 freeze-dried breakfast face-off.
I'm up first and I'm making a strawberry banana rice pudding. We really like dehydrated rice pudding on the trail, but I think this one will be even better from the freeze dryer. And my recipe's crazy easy. I started by putting rice, oat milk, brown sugar, ginger, cinnamon, and vanilla in a pot. Then I let this simmer on medium-low heat for about half an hour till it was thick like pudding. While simmering, I sliced up a bunch of strawberries and then bananas. I mixed these in with the pudding once it was cooked, and then the whole thing went on freeze dryer trays. Freeze drying took about 24 hours in our Harvest Right. Then it was a giant pudding brick, and it was time to package.
That is cool.
I can guarantee this is gonna be good. I can't wait for the taste test.
You're going down, Renee.
Excuse me? Wait till you taste the savory breakfast I made. Freeze-dried grits.
It's nice to have a savory breakfast once in a while, and thanks to our freeze dryer, this one's just as easy to cook on the trail as our typical oat-based breakfast. I started by putting a little bit of oat milk, a lot of water, and some veggie bouillon into a pot. While that came to a boil, I started frying some kale. Since we're using the freeze dryer instead of the dehydrator, a little bit of oil is okay. Once the water was boiling, I added in some old-fashioned grits and let it simmer until it was nice and thick. When the grits were done cooking, I added in some kale, black-eyed peas, and a bunch of nutritional yeast. I'm hopeful that Tim's sweet rice pudding will lose this contest. The whole mix gets poured onto freeze dryer trays and spread into a thin, even layer. Then it goes straight into the freeze dryer for about 1 day and it'll come out totally dry. I packaged it into Mylar bags and now it's ready for an adventure. Here are my meals next to Tim's. Next up is the taste test.